Hey smart people, Astos here, and today we are gonna be seeing how the sum of natural numbers up till infinity can turn out to be a fraction and that also a negative. As bizarre as it may seem, this proof is one of the most controversial proof in mathematics, but nonetheless, it has some major applications in physics. So let's get into it. Now one more thing I would like to tell you is that there is a function called Raman's zeta function, and that can be used to prove this result. It is basically that function's value at -1, but that is somewhat a complicated process and we are not going to dive into it. Rather, we'll be showing it by using some simple and cool series. So let's see how it works.
So here we are, and first look into this interesting series. So let's say s is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 and minus dot 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 dot. So we are trying to figure out what its value can be. So what can be its value? Like this goes to infinity, and if you add 1, subtract 1, add 1, subtract 1, it seems basically that this can be 0 or 1. So what can be its value? It can be 0 or 1. But now we can do something else. Now what we are gonna do is we are gonna add another s to this s. Okay, so how exactly are we adding? So let's write this s first, like 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 and dot dot dot. Now we are going to add the second s to this first s, and the position is important. Like I'm not gonna just write plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 like here only. So I'm gonna place it downwards. I will write this series, this which is simply this s, and I'm gonna add it to this. So I'm gonna write it plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 and so on. So you now can see that when we are adding it, simply this goes to infinity, this goes to infinity, so the alternate terms keep on interchanging themselves, and therefore this we can cancel some terms out here, like plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1, and simply, so we can say that up till infinity all these terms get cancelled out, and what we are left is simply the 1. So we can assume that s plus s is equal to 1. So this implies that 2s is equal to 1, and if 2s is equal to 1, then s is basically 1 by 2. So this is our jam result. Like we have added this infinity series and we have got 1 over 2. It may sound counterintuitive, but it is somewhat makes sense. So now we are going to look at the second series. Let us call this series A. Okay, so now our series is A is equal to 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6 plus 7, and you get the concept. So how to figure out this? Well, I can use a trick from the previous one. Like let me again add a to this a. So I will add a to a, and I will write the first a first. 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6 plus 7 dot dot dot, and this second a I'm gonna add it here. So let me write plus 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6 and so on. So interesting, you can group this together and you can simply, this turns out to be minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. So what you are left it is 1 minus 1, this plus 1, this turns out to be minus 1, again plus 1 and so on. So what we found out here is 2a is equal to this 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 alternate series which we did earlier. So what this was equal to? This was equal to half. So what will be a equal to? A will be equal to 1 over 4, and this is again a very important result. So here we are finally on to proving what we wanted to. So let's call that series x. So our x is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 and so on, which is of what? Which is sum of infinite natural numbers, which is our question. So what can this be equal to? By simple logic you can figure out that this series right here never stops. Like it always goes on increasing and increasing and increasing up to infinity. So an obvious answer is that it must be infinity. But one more interesting answer is there, like what, by using what we previously proved. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna take our x and we are gonna subtract our a, which we found out earlier. So what was our a? Our a was this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna subtract it. So
from x which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 and so on.
And we'll subtract our a. So our a is
1 minus 2 plus 3 minus 4 plus 5 minus 6 plus 7 minus 8 and so on.
So what does this minus sign do? Simple, it reverses the sign. So again we are going to write it. All these terms here gets cancelled out and we are left with 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16 and so on. So how does this differ from this? So a simple glance can say that this right here is 4 times this. Like you multiply this by 4, you get 1 into 4 4, 2 into 4 8, 3 into 4 12 and so on. So we can write that x minus a is equal to 4 times x. And what was a? From previous result our a was 1 over 4. So we can use that here. So we will write x minus 1 over 4 is equal to 4x. Now if you notice here carefully, you can see that this seems somewhat bizarre. Like this is the sum of natural numbers and it surely must be positive, and if we use subtract, like here we are subtracting minus 1 over 4 we are subtracting, and it gets larger, it becomes larger. How is that possible? So this is bizarre about it. So rearranging the terms we get 3x equals minus 1 over 4. Now what we are going to do, simply for finding x, therefore we'll divide by 3 on both sides and we'll get minus 1 over 12, and here is our gem. This right here, all the sum of the natural number can be shown to equal minus 1 over 12. And this is a very important result in mathematics and physics, mostly physics, because this is used in a lot of areas of physics. Like wherever there is infinite sum, this result is used. And it makes a lot of calculations and a lot of theories in physics easier to explain and to reach a conclusion. Like if you see this and you say that this goes to infinity, it does not convey any message. But if you use this result, it explains a few concepts of physics, like in string theory and modern physics, in many places this is used. So this is how, friends, we prove that sum of the natural numbers can be shown to equal minus 1 over 12.
Hope you guys liked the video and got something to learn from it. Do comment in the comment section what you feel about this seemingly bizarre proof. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.